right, we're going to get the show on the road here. So we're actually going to start today's practice a little different. And I mentioned to those that were in the queue a little earlier, if you have blocks for today's practice, that's great. If you don't, you can do the entire practice without it. If you find you don't like the use of the block, you dump it. We're just trying to play with our practice a little and our balance. So we're going to start today standing up. Have your block at the top of the mat and just bring your feet together or hips width distance together, hips width apart. Hands come to prayer, and just close your eyes for a few cycles of breath and just feel your weight kind of distribute forwards and a little bit backwards. Come to the Ujjayi breath if that's possible. That's inhalation through the nose, through the back of the throat. And as you exhale through the nose, through the back of the throat, let the feeling of that breath just kind of run a lot of energy from the ground all the way through the crown of the head, and let it move back down the back side of the body. Contract the thighs, let the shoulders draw down the back, and just get yourself grounded here this morning. Even if this is super difficult for you to shut your eyes and be still, take another big breath in. On the exhale breath, open your eyes, and you're going to take your block and you're going to place your left foot on it. Once again, if you don't have a block, you can do the whole thing. If you have a firm block, it's better. Your hands are going to come to your hips, and you're going to stand up, and you're just going to hover. I'll actually turn so you can see. You're going to hover your right foot, kind of like a pendulum, from the ground. So it's going to line up almost with the left foot. So just like this. And then just use your hips and feel your weight distribution move to the left side, but make sure that you're not rolling all your weight to the left side. And once again, this can be done just standing up. Don't sweat it. I know it's Prime Day. You can get a block probably delivered by the end of the day. Stand up nice and tall. Good. And then from here, what's going to happen is you're going to press more into the ground with that standing leg. You're going to reach down with your right hand and reach for your right ankle and slide your right foot into a tree. Now, if this doesn't work for you to have your hand like this, then you'll just have your hands on your hips and your right foot make a shape with a tree, but you're going to keep your hand on your ankle if you have that flexibility, and stand up really tall. Wrap the outer hips in and slide your left arm straight up. So your right arm is on the inside of your right leg. You're grabbing onto your right ankle or your shin or your knee, if that's where you're able to get hold of. You're zipping up your core, and you're finding a dristi, a focal point. Hold. Feel the ground, feel your outer hips, make this strong shape. Draw your navel in, draw your waist up. Now, keeping your right foot where it is, slide your right arm up like you're holding a block over the top of your head. Wrap the sides of your body in. Lengthen, create more space like you're reaching for the sky or the ceiling. Press down more. Last little bit here. Maybe close your eyes for a breath or two and feel your body in space. Slide the hands to prayer. Step down off the block, feet or hips width distance. Just bring your hands to your hips. Just stand for a second. Good. Shift the weight now into the right foot. Stand on the block. If you messed up the legs, just do the opposite, everyone. Not a big deal. And keeping your hands on your hips, just move the weight into the standing leg and float the opposite foot. So now it's hovering. It's hovering. Yes, you're hovering, you're breathing. Keeping your hands on your hips, just feel that weight distribution. It's slight, it's small, but you're contracting. Reach down with your left hand, grab the ankle, and see if you can slide your foot. Don't let go of that ankle yet. To the instep of that right thigh, or if you're on the wrong leg, the instep of the leg. Pull up on the lower belly, grip your outer hips in, stand up tall. Now, if you have this, or if it looks more like this, that's okay too. Slide your right arm up, whatever the opposite arm is. Reach big. Feel the weight in your right foot. Feel your outer hips, your thigh bone. There's a gripping of your outer hips in and a lengthening of your tailbone. Slide the left arm straight up towards the sky. Yeah. Let your breath just feel the pose. It's a very simple pose, but very effective. Press down. Good, stay with it. For the last 2 or 3 breaths, maybe play with closing your eyes. Hands to prayer. Slowly step down, feet. Now we're gonna go wide. You're gonna come into squat. So you can use the block and you can turn it and place it underneath your tailbone at any distance. In squat pose, malasana, your feet need to go super wide, everybody. Toes definitely need to turn out for most of us. Use the back of your triceps to press to the inner parts of your thigh. Lengthen your tailbone. Let your seat drop down. Let the crown of the head shoot energy up. Left fingertips are going to cup in front of your left arm shin. Right arm's going to peel open. Look up with your eyes. It's a gentle twist. If it's too much for you, don't twist as deep. The fingertips are cupped or the palm is flat. Most of us probably need a cup fingertip. Keep gripping your outer hips in. Keep moving the weight back into your heels. Lengthen and twist a little from left to right with your ribs. Hands to prayer, come to neutral. Tent the right fingertips. I like to cup the hand and then use the back of the tricep to encourage the thigh to open, and then the left arm wraps up. Look up with your eyes. Feel the weight on the outer part of your feet. Yeah. You kind of have to pull up on the arch, twist your ribs a little from right to left, and lengthen down. Big breath in. Come back to neutral, hands in prayer. Plant your palms on the ground and start to slowly straighten out your legs. Your feet are going to come in a little bit closer. Cup the fingertips out in front of you. Your fingertips are out in front of you, almost like an up dog. Pull the chest forward, keep the neck nice and neutral. Bend behind your knees. Just be here for a few breaths. Just play with the weight. Feel the sides of your body lift. Feel your feet grounding you. Your fingertips are tented or cupped. Draw the navel in. You want to feel like you're leading with your chest, so your weight moves forward and we get out of the hamstring. The meaty part of the hamstring begins to just get a nice release. Hands come directly down to the floor. You're going to step back to a downward facing dog this morning. Separate your hands as wide as the mat. Make sure your index fingers are forward. Bend behind your knees as much as you need in here this morning to make the pose accessible. And breathe your hips up off your shoulders. Feel your outer arms hug in. Let your breath just move through your body. So less thinking and more feeling. Allowing your body to really take advantage of this moving meditation. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving, known as your drishti point, and then roll forward to a strong plank. Stack your body nicely. Now for the first one, I always find I have to walk it out a little bit. So if you find that you don't match from your down dog to your plank, just take a second to work that out, to rearrange it. Lengthen your tailbone, draw your navel, your hip points up enough that you're not sagging down into the pose. Wrap the sides of your arms under you just a little bit and move your eyes forward. If this is too much, drop your knees and support the pose. Now focus on the breath as it moves through the body, from the crown of the head all the way from the heels, and then reversing itself back and forth, that energy line moving, that breath moving. Feel the hands plug down into the mat. Either stay here or bend your elbows in half to a chaturanga dandasana and hold. Your knees can drop too. Lead with your heart in your chest for a nice up dog or baby cobra if this is too much for you early in the practice. Activate through the tops of the feet, press through the hands. And then from your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. So a really slow flow right here in this moment. We will move, don't worry. Roll forward to a plank, feel every step of the way. You can also just hold plank. If you're not into push-ups or something's going on in your shoulder or your wrist or your elbow, skip it. Lower halfway chaturanga, but pause in the chaturanga. Lead with your chest, upward facing point, activate the legs, press through the hands. From your hips, up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward into a low lunge. Come to your fingertips and pause. See if you can just step your left foot forward. Your feet can be hips width or they can come all the way together. It's up to you. Long spine on the inhale or hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Root to rise, come all the way up, feel the ground. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Here we go. Lengthen the arms up, look up a little. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms this morning and slide your right leg back. Stay tight to the floor, left leg back, plank. Move with control, bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, and pause. Lead with your heart and your chest for an upward facing. Fire up your legs, point your toes. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Glide your left foot all the way forward and through beyond your fingertips. This is going to allow you to have a little bit more space through your hip flexor. Spring your right foot forward, hips width or feet together. Long spine, look forward a little. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Nice, deliberate, clean movements. Drop your arms, slide the arms straight up, look up a little. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms, slide your left foot back. Grip your outer arms in, engage your core. Right foot meets in a plank. You can always stay here or bend your elbows. Meet me in a halfway chaturanga. Glide your chest through for an upward facing. Point your toes. Nice work. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward, low lunge, and pause. Left foot springs to the top of the mat. My feet are together now. It's up to you. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Energy reaches up. Hands to prayer. Keep going a little bit more. Slide the arms up, look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms, right foot slides back. Left foot joins, plank. Halfway to a chaturanga. Lead with your heart and your chest for an upward facing point. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time. Glide your left foot forward and through, low lunge. Spring your right foot forward to match it. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Arms slide up, last one. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms and slide your left foot back and pause. Yeah, drop your knee for a second. If you have a block, I'm gonna use this firm one today, a cushy one is fine too, or you can skip the block. The right foot's gonna go onto the block. If you got a big foot, your toes may hang off a little, okay? So you're in a low lunge and your right foot is on a block. Your knee tracks over your ankle, so you have a proper alignment, almost like the shape of a box. Come to your fingertips, activate your back leg and pause here. You're in a low lunge, your front foot is on a block, or maybe you're opting out. Steer your right hip back, scissor the inner and outer thighs in, and breathe. Now there has to be a gripping in of your outer hips and your legs. Your arms now are gonna sweep back like a set of airplane wings. Draw your navel up. Happy Wednesday, guys. Yes, we just get right to it. You're hovering over your front thigh. My foot is on a block. It's up to you how much you wanna work though. Sweep your arms straight out and up. Look up with your eyes, crescent lunge. Front foot is on a block if you wanna work a little deeper into the muscles. Sit deep into your front thigh. Lift your hip points up. Energetically reach your arms up. Look up a little with your eyes. Yeah. Grip outer hips, sides of the body in. Hold. Create a little bit more space as you press down. Take the hands to frame your front foot. Keep your front foot on a block. Keep the foot forward. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. I'm going to set up for a triangle with my front leg on a block. Right hand to your shin, left arm up. And you kind of have to play with this a little. Most of you practice often, so getting into triangle from the ground up is something you can find. If it didn't work, rearrange yourself. We are in a triangle. My bottom ribs turn up a little. My arms stack nicely up and down. My eyes look up. And I'm just coming back to that breath and letting it move through my body so I can feel the posture. A little tiny micro bend behind the right knee. The left leg is super strong and engaged, and it's slightly turned forward. Soften the shoulders a little. Look up a little more. Another big breath in. Good. To get out of this, we're going to look down. Circle the hands to frame your front foot. You're in a low lunge, easy twist, okay? Your right foot is on the block. Focus on the left palm. Press it flat into the ground. Firm up the side of your tricep. Roll to the outer blade of your back foot. Grab onto your right ankle and see if you can place your right foot slowly into a tree side plank. If that didn't work, modify with the bottom knee down. Lift from your bottom hip. Stack the two arms and look up. Grip your outer hip underneath you. Firm up your left tricep. Plug down to lift a little higher. Look down with your eyes. Just move your block out of the way. Plank position. Meet me in plank. Bend your elbows in half. Chaturanga. Pull your chest to a nice, clean, upward facing. Point your toes. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. From your down dog, just land your left foot forward into a low lunge and just drop your back knee. Grab that block again. Place the whole foot on the block. If you're opting out of the block, that's fine. Be on your fingertips, back knees on a strong angle, and I'm just focusing on the shape of my front left leg. Yeah, you take a second to arrange, and then activate your back leg. Zip the outer hips in. Still on my fingertips. Steer the left hip back. Scissor the inner thighs. Draw the waist to the side of the body as long. Arms are now going to reach back. So this is using a lot of core to hold you up. Yeah. Activate the back leg. You're high in the ball of the back foot. Your palms face down. Squeezing of the shoulder blades. And then grip the outer hips, and from your waist, sweep your arms out and up. High lunge. Front foot is on a block if you're looking for a little something funky. Hip points are forward. Breath is with you. Energize from the ground up, lengthen. Reach up a little bit more. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Keep your left foot exactly where it is. Turn your back foot strong on an angle, and from the ground up, come into triangle pose. Right arm extends up. Little soft bend behind your left knee. It's not a back bend, everybody, so really feel your feet and your legs ground you. Your waist is long. It's a little twist from the upper spine. Stack the two arms, look up nicely, and just get yourself grounded. Two more breaths. One more full breath in. On the exhale, look down with your eyes. Peel both hands to frame your front foot. Right heel's gonna pop up, your back in that low lunge. So focus on your right hand firm to the ground, right tricep. Take hold of your left ankle and move slowly into side plank with the tree. So you're gonna use that hand to help you place your foot into a tree if that's available to you. Stack the top arm. Let me show a modification for those that need it. Top leg bends in half. Modified side plank like this. This is a great way to take it. Lift from the bottom hip. Look up with your eyes and breathe. Focus on your breath and your alignment. Make the pose feel as light and as effective as you can. Take one more big breath in, lift a little higher. Look down with your eyes, move the block out of the way, find your way to a plank. Meet me there. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag your chest through a nice clean up dog. Never thought that feels so good. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and through. Turn your back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Come on up. It's after doing that, if you use the block, this feels like a walk in the park. Left thigh Left ribs forward, arms reach up. Right knee tracks over right ankle, right thigh contracts and slides back into the hips. You can get that front leg to open. Lift up a little higher. Hands to frame your front foot, plank. Decide what you need, chaturanga or not. Upward facing should feel good, it's a new breath. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land your left foot forward, turn your back foot on a strong angle. Root to rise, warrior one. If you have an injury or something's going on and you need to take crescent lunge instead, that works. Right ribs turn, right thigh moves forward a little. Arms energize. Feel your feet. Reach up a little higher through your fingertips. Looks good, Nancy. Hands to the floor, plank position. Effective and neat. Lower halfway. Upward facing. Pull your chest through. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Be still. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Plug down through your hands. Look where you want to go. You can step, you can float. It's up to you how you want to move in here. Long spine on the inhale breath. Weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Yes, ideally we want our arms to be straight, but everyone's got different stuff with their shoulders. So straight arms can be forward and shoulder width distance, or a little wider if you got something funky going on. Drop the weight into your heels. Move your waist up. Feel the strength of your legs. Press all the way up to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. 3 sun Bs together. Here we go. Slide the arms up. Look forward with your eyes. Sit into a chair. Get excited. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Listen, you can just step to plank. You can float through a chaturanga, but you must land with bent elbows. Upward facing drags you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot on an angle. Warrior one or some variation of that. Hands come down, plank to a chaturanga. Upward facing or baby cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank through your vinyasa. Meet me in a downward facing dog, be still here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Press through your hands, look forward, see where you want to land, step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Press all the way up to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Here we go. Slide the arms up. Sit again into a chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. This prepares us. You can step or you can float. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank position. Chaturanga, only halfway if you're taking chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing, left foot lands, building some momentum. Warrior one. Hands come down, chaturanga. So if I'm moving too fast or there's a delay, you always have time to meet us in a downward facing dog. Hips up and back, down dog is where we're at. Take a deep breath in. You can exhale loudly through your mouth. You're at home and no one can hear you unless you're practicing with a friend. Press through your hands, look where you want to go. Step or float, top of mat. Long spine, nice work. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair. Aren't these so fun and exciting? Yeah. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more. Okay, slide the arms up. Sit again, chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing. Nice, Margaret. Hips up and back, downward facing. Without thinking, right foot forward, back foot on a strong angle. Warrior one. Hands come down, plank position. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Don't rush. Left foot forward, back foot on an angle. Warrior one. Hands come down through your vinyasa, or you can just step right to a down dog too. Totally fine to just arrive back to your down dog and just hold. Okay, guys, roll forward to a plank. Yep, plank position. And like you were standing on a block before, float your right foot just an inch. Just an inch, yeah. Look forward, lengthen your tailbone. Take your right knee towards your right tricep in the general direction. It might not actually touch. Slide the right foot back so it hovers and it matches up with your left foot. Keep looking forward. Hug your right knee straight in. Scoop out your belly, hold. See if you can get your forehead to your knee a little closer. And then look forward. Step the right foot forward and through in between your two hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. Reach for a block or two blocks. Take your hand to the outside of your foot, left arm up. So you're going into a extended side angle A with your hand on the outside. If something funky is going on in your back, rest your arm on your thigh and take the modified version of this, which is a great place to be. Block can be, you can even take 2 blocks to the outside of the foot. Yeah. Wrap the outside of the right leg to the inside of your right arm. Left arm straight up or up and over. Keep pressing your right thigh knee to the inside of your right arm. Take your bottom ribs, turn them towards the sky, grip your right hip and glute underneath you. Come to your breath right here. Just focus on that and everything else will follow. Last little bit, focus on your left foot, press down through it and really reach through your left fingertips. Nice, Tracy. Stay with the breath. Left arm slides straight up to the sky. Look down. Move the block in front of you enough that you can float kind of seamlessly into your half moon. If it's not so seamless and you fall out today, welcome to yoga. Stack the 2 hips, slide the left arm up, and then look up with your eyes. You want to make sure that your right hip to your right armpit has the natural length of your waist. So you're not overreaching and your hand is not too close to your right baby toe. Lift from your inner left thigh, spark up your toes, and then look up with your eyes. If you can come to 3 fingers or 2 fingers on your bottom hand, give it a whirl. If not, just focus here on gripping your right hip and foot under you and forward. Look down with your eyes. Take the left hand to the floor, square your hips and pause. Like we did before, cup your fingertips a little out in front of you. Make sure your left leg is hip height. Slide your left foot in front of your right shin. You're crisscrossing your feet with your hands cupped out in front of you. My baby toes are touching and there's a space in between my heels. You may need to bend behind your knees. You may even need to place blocks out in front of you. Then from here, stay with this or begin to fold. Let the head go. Yeah. Move the weight forward, lift the hips up off the heels. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Unravel the feet so they slide right next to one another. Sit into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. Your happy place. Yeah, you just kind of have to talk it up to yourself. Slide the hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Hook the elbow and turn to the right. If you've got lower back sensitivity, feel free to separate your feet hips width distance and even slide a soft object like a block or a pillow in between your thighs. Lengthen your waist, look to the right or look up. Dig your heels into the mat and keep moving your weight back so your feet, your shins, your knees, everything line up nicely. More breath. Stay with it. Grip your outer hips in. Keep the shape of your legs and pull strong, chair pose. You're still in chair, look forward, drive the heels into the mat, move the energy into your heels, press all the way up to a standing position, bring your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, stand still for a second. Move your hands to your hips and slide your left foot back about 3 to 4 feet. Walk the right foot over to the right. Right hand on your hip, left arm extends up, come halfway down and pause. Steer your right hip back. You actually have to use your right hand to do so. Keep reaching out in front of you like you're going to warrior 3. Your hand can rest on the front of your right shin or reach for that block. However you want to take this today. Make sure the block is underneath the shoulder. And then maybe the right arm extends up. Steer the hips back, anchor the outer blade of your left foot, lengthen the waist. Let the shoulders slide down the back, twist from above the belly button. Press through your feet and your legs to create more energy for yourself to stay just a little bit longer. Look down, place both hands to the floor. From here, you can either just step to a dog or you can move through a vinyasa. It's up to you. Pull yourself through an up dog if you're taking it. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale all the breath out. Roll forward to plank position. Set up your body here, aligned yourself nicely. Float the left foot just an inch and hold. Keep looking forward, draw the waist up. Take your left knee towards your left tricep. Keep looking forward, scoop out your belly and hug the knee straight in. Press more through the ground, look forward with your eyes. Land your left foot smack in between your hands. Stay low to the floor here, everyone. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. I'm gonna use a block to the outside of the foot, and I like to tent my fingertips. Grip the outer hip in. Rest the outer part of your left leg on the inside of the left arm, and then slide the right arm up. Turn the bottom ribs, yeah. Feel free to rest your arm on your thigh if this is too much for you this morning. Find a lot of strength through your right leg, yeah. Press firm through that. Use the outer blade of your foot, maybe wrap your arm forward. Look up a little with your eyes. And then it's not like you're getting comfortable in the pose because you're kind of working through the sensation. Be somewhere you know you can hold for the next few breaths. Grip that left hip, turn the bottom ribs. Stay with it. Two more. If you wrapped your right arm forward, just lengthen it straight up or maybe slide your hand to the hip. Stay very close to the floor. The transition focuses on your left foot and gripping your outer hip in. Move your weight forward enough that you can work into a half moon. Nice and slow into your half moon here. Gotta play with where the block needs to be. Right leg lifts, right arm extends up. Yeah, and if you fall, it's okay. Just yoga. Yeah, a lot of times our right foot kind of like floats away from us in the wrong way. If you look down the sideline of your body, you should be able to see your right toes. Maybe lighten your bottom hand. Come to 3 fingers or 2 fingers. Yeah. Stay with your breath a little bit longer. Look down with your eyes, square off your hips, bring your right hand to the floor. Your fingertips are cupped and they're out in front of you. Find some space through your torso, look forward a little, and then slide your right shin in front of your left shin. And then bring your fingertips so they're a little bit off-centered from your shoulders, so just a tiny bit forward. Cup the fingertips, pause here like you're in a little up dog, move your weight forward, and then exhale, walk your hands a little bit closer to you and fold. Yeah. What's going on over there? You're in a crisscross legs. You're in utter happiness. Ha ha. Stay with it. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Look forward a little for me. Unravel your feet so they're side by side. Sit into a chair. Move the weight back into your heels. Drag your hands to a prayer. Pray for yourself. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, and twist to the left. When you twist, just make sure your whole body isn't wrapping with you. Yeah, 2 knees, 2 shins, unless you've got more than that. Slide the weight back. Everything lines up. Open up your arms if you want more, or just stay here. Dig the heels into the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep the shape of the lower half of the body. Look forward, pull back to a chair. Stay grounded. Drop your seat a little lower. See what you can find here. Press all the way up to a standing position. Nice work. Drag your hands to prayer. Bring your hands to your hips. Slide your right foot back about 3 feet. Walk your left foot over to the left so you're about hips width distance. Keep your left hand on your hip. Reach up big with your right arm. Exhale the breath, come halfway down and pause. Use your left hand to steer this hip back. Really energize with your right fingertips. So like reach more, and that's going to activate your right leg, hand to your shin, or to a block into twisting triangle. Stack the 2 arms, or have your hand on the flat part of your back. Steer your hips back. Lengthen the side of your body. Look up a little. So you get to the posture, you find your way to a place that you know you think you can hold. Maybe you don't know if you can hold it. You should be able to hold the pose for a few breaths and be comfortable enough to stay with that. 2 more. You're doing great. Look down, place both hands to the ground. From here, just step to a downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank position. Yes. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself to a nice, clean, upward facing dog. Point your toes, lead with your chest. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward like we did early in the practice. Drop your knee for a moment. Reach for your block. You're going to slide it again one more time today underneath your right foot. If you're opting out of this, just skip it. Be on your fingertips here. This is how we started. Activate your back leg, come to a low lunge. Steer your right hip back. Then from here, reach your arms back like a set of airplane wings. Yeah. From your hip points, from your waist, sweep your arms out and up. Reach big. Look forward with your eyes. Feel the weight in your standing right heel. Press firm down through that. Activate your left leg more. Drag your hands to a prayer. Inhale the breath, lean forward a little bit, hook the elbow and twist. Grip your outer hip underneath you. Yes. Open up your arms if you think you have that space, or just stay here and really use the back of your left tricep to press against the outside of your right leg. Squeeze the legs, activate the left hip, thigh, hamstring. Bring more weight forward. 3 more breaths. Look down, place both hands back to the ground, drop your knees, stay here. Good. So if you have a second block, you'll use it and you'll place your left hand down and your right arm will just reach back. If you don't have a second block, at this point, you may want to take your foot off the block. Right. You're just reaching back like this. You're stacking yourself up, so you're getting a back bend, a twist, excuse me. Bend at your knee crease, grab your ankle. You can be straight up and down like this. Yeah. Back leg has a little angle, so you're not digging the knee into the ground. If grabbing the ankle doesn't feel good today, simply just skip that part and just reach back and create the twist here. You don't need the block. Your hand can be down. Your forearm can even be down on the ground. It's not happening for me. Last little bit. Look right a little. Don't look all the way back. Just look to the right. Grip your right hip in so the hip doesn't roll out. Feel the whole foot grounding. Good. Let go of the clasped foot behind you. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. And then move your weight straight up and down and straighten your right leg. My foot is still on the block. So it looks like this. Your foot isn't on the block. That's okay. Cup the fingertips directly underneath your shoulders or slightly in front. I'm straight up and down with my left knee. Stay here. If you want to add more, left fingertips are going to stay cupped. Outer hip's going to grip in. Right arm's going to extend up. Lengthen the side body. Look up with your eyes. Focus on your hips. Hug them underneath you. Lengthen the side of your body. Twist open. Look down, place both hands to the floor, rebend the front thigh, just enough that you can take your foot off the block. Step to a downward facing dog. There's nothing graceful about that. Just pump out your legs a few times. If you want to roll forward to a plank, you can. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Pull yourself to an up dog. Stay with this, guys. It's almost done. Downward facing dog. Land your left foot forward, drop your knee. So try the block if you have it. Take the whole foot on the block. Come to your fingertips. Be here. Activate your back leg. Grip your hips in. Reach your arms back. Hover. Sweep your arms out and up. High lunge. Press into the standing left heel. Yeah. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale your breath. Lean forward a little. Hook the elbow and twist. So your back right leg is set up like you would go right to a plank here. Lean back a little bit. Use the outer right arm to kind of press against the outer part of your left thigh. Open up your arms if you want more. Just stay with this. There's like a little bit of a leaning back and the crown of the head moves back. One more big breath. Look down, place both hands to the floor, pause. You're like, I could not get out of that fast enough. Drop your back knee, yep. Take the right palm flat or your hand to a block, left arm wraps back. So it may just look like this, guys. Hand can be down on the ground or a block and the left arm wraps back. If you want more, bend at your knee crease, grab your ankle. In this variation, we want to make sure our left leg doesn't wing out. So grip that hip in. I'd rather you do less and be more accurate with your alignment. You can drop down to your right forearm too if you're looking for a little bit more. 2 more. Let go of your foot. Place both hands on the ground. Start to move your weight back so your right leg is up and down, and your left leg, it goes straight and the foot flexes. Cup the fingertips a little underneath your shoulders, a little bit, like an inch or two forward. Be here for a second. So this may be your sweet spot today. You can stay with this. If you'd like to move on, right hand directly underneath your shoulder, left arm peels open. Scissor the outer hips underneath you. Side body long. Look up. You can place a block underneath your right hand too. The more you flex your foot, the more you're going to get into your IT band. Another big breath. Look down, take both hands to the floor. Rebend the front thigh first. Activate your back leg. Maybe you have to step your foot up off the block. Step to a downward facing. Here's get out. When you get to downward facing, roll forward to plank position. Nice work, everyone. Stay with this. Drop to your forearms for forearm plank. Forearm plank. Lengthen your tailbone, spread your palms. If you're like, okay, I put too much effort out here this morning, drop your knees, take it like this. This is a great way to take forearm plank because it's really still, you're engaging your core. Activate. If you have an inversion practice this morning that you're feeling that you need to go up, you can go to a wall. You can just stay here in forearm plank and hold. Lengthen yourself here. Move the energy more forward towards your tippy toes. Let the crown of the head extend forward and spread your palms wide. 5 more breaths wherever you are. Wherever you are, if you went up, make your way out slow, child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Let your knees go wide, your big toes come together, and energetically slide your arms out in front of you. Let your forehead rest down. Press up onto all fours. Yeah, walk your knees through your hands and find your way onto your backs. Just lay down. Move your blocks with you if you know you like back bending with blocks. Yeah. So stick with this back bending, guys, and I'm going to give you some hip opening at the end of this. So, okay, so set yourself up. We're going to do 3 back bends together. If you prefer to use a block, anchor your feet, lift your hips up, and slide a block underneath your low back. Clasp the hands around the block, interlace them, ground the feet. Lengthen from the tailbone to the backs of the knees. You're opting out of the block, just have your hands clasp, lift up. Anchor the feet, turn the thighs down and under. Take another big breath in. If you're on a block, you just stay. If you're not on a block, you're gonna move yourself away from the ground and then lower your hips down and release. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Repeat exactly that. We're moving on to 2 sets this morning of full wheel. So flip your palms, bring your hands over your shoulders, bring your chin to your chest, take a giant breath in, exhale that breath, and then see if you can lift up. So it's not about muscling your way into this pose. It's about lifting up. Your body should feel ready for it, or just repeat one of those other options. Nice, Tracy. So really press the back of the triceps down. That's going to help you anchor and lift from your tailbone rather than feeling like you're cranking your butt up. Exhale your breath wherever you are. Come on out. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. 1 more. Here we go. Flip the palms, chin to chest. If you're still in a block, I'd recommend lifting the legs up. You're kind of creating like legs up the wall. Exhale the breath. Here we go. Lift yourself up. One final one. One final one. Yeah. Nice, Margaret. Beautiful. Turn your inner thighs under you just a little bit. Yeah. Good work. Exhale your breath. You pretty much know when it's time to get out. Your body and mind have like a catastrophe. Exhale the breath, come all the way down. Give your knees a giant squeeze in towards your chest. So squeeze in tight. And rock and roll for me a few times. Come up to a seated position. When you come up to a seated position, plant your hands, step to a downward facing dog. From your down dog, glide your right knee forward for a half pigeon. Yeah, half pigeon pose. If this is really not comfortable for you, you can stay on your back and thread the needle. It's another option. Left thigh turns down, and then drape yourself down. Let yourself just fold. So stay with this if this is where you're content, you feel like you're getting the most from it. Adding on, we can move into a double pigeon fire log today. So you'll pull yourself up, your right shin moves forward enough that you can create a 90-degree angle. Your left leg will swing around, cross the ankle over the top of the knee. I like to cup the fingertips, lift my seat up, and then lower back down just to make sure I'm sitting in the right spot. The goal is to have both feet very flexed and a strong box here. You can even take a block and place it in the between the space. That's going to help take some tension off. Maybe upright is where you stay. Maybe your arms reach up and you're able to hinge forward, palms down. Wherever you are, just close your eyes and just focus on the breath. Just focus on the breath moving through your body and explore that for a few moments. Unravel slowly. Left leg just slides back. Hands down, downward facing dog. From your down dog, you reset. Left knee forward, half pigeon. Yeah, half pigeon or thread the needle on your back. Fold here first. I'll let you know when you can move on. So we worked in a little bit of a different way. We worked our outer hips today. So just releasing any tension that maybe collected itself as you move through the practice. So if you're content right here, just stay, okay? No need to move. You can just really enjoy and embrace this. If you would like to move on with me, pull yourself up. The weight moves to the left side. Left shin will need to come forward here. Right leg will come up, cross the ankle over the front of the knee, and you'll line yourself up. I like to lift up a little to make sure, especially, you know, a lot of us sit in the car a lot. You want to make sure that your tailbone is not rounded under. Yeah. And maybe you need a block in between the space. Maybe you just stay upright and pause here. Maybe the arms reach up and you start to come forward. Just depends on your body in the moment. Close your eyes and just breathe. Few breaths. Start to move yourself up. If you're in double like I am, just you're gonna sit up nicely and unravel your legs. If you're in half pigeon, swing the right leg around and ground your feet. Last little bit of effort, ladies. Hug the thighs in, reach your arms forward just like this. Like an amended boat pose, ground your feet. Yes. From here, you're gonna lift your legs up to a 90-degree angle, lift your torso. If something's going on in your lower back and doesn't feel good, you can kind of bring your arms out behind you and tent the fingertips. This is one option. Draw the thighs towards the navel. Good. And then from here, you're going to wrap your hands forward into a prayer, just like this, to the side, to the right. Arms straight. Yes. Legs can be bent. Lift the waist, draw the belly in, press the palms, firm up the sides of the triceps, hold. Come back through center, take it over to the left. Yeah, stay very up, like draw in and hold. Squeeze in nice and tight. Good. Come back to center. Split the hands apart. Slide the palms flat down. Lower slowly to Ardha Navasana. My Ardha today is going to look like this. The hands are down. The shoulders are lifted. The lower back is on the mat. Legs can also be up at a 90-degree angle. Keep firming up the hands. Sides of the triceps engaged in. Scoop out the belly and hold for 5, for 4, lengthen, for 3, for 2, and 1, release. As you come down onto the ground, draw the right knee in towards the chest, give it an active squeeze, and then take the right leg over to the left for just a supine twist. Right tricep down, yeah. Cactus the arm. Roll up to center, relax the right leg out, hug the left knee in, give it a little squeeze, move all my many blocks out of the way here, and take the leg over to the right. You can use your right hand to encourage the left thigh to drop. Come up to center and just set yourself up here for Shavasana. Separate your feet super wide, let your toes drop out, turn the palms open, close your eyes, let go of your breath. No more need to focus on that, just breathe normal. Take a really big breath in through your nose. Take a loud breath out through your mouth. Draw your arms up over the top of the head. Really let your body like find some extra space in here. Hug your knees to your chest. And if you want to stay down, that's fine. If you'd like to join me and just sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes for a moment. This will probably be the last time you're still for the rest of the day. So embrace that. Bring the hands to prayer. Bow your head for a moment. Thank yourselves for carving out this time. Lift your head, open your eyes, with much gratitude always for you guys. Namaste. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here for you.